then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Lord, thank you for this event that we get to be a part of. Lord, just so thankful for the racers, the sponsors, the organizers that made this event possible. Lord, I pray for a heart posture of gratefulness and just this opportunity that we have to support these charities. Lord, I pray for the drivers as they race tonight, Lord, that they just glorify you with the things that they say and do. And Lord, just thankful for them and that they're able to come out here and choose these charities that they want to support. Lord, I pray that we remember that this is bigger than us, that this is for you, for your glory. Lord, that we just come to this with humility and thankfulness for this opportunity, Lord. I just pray that you have your hand over this night and all that happens. In your name we pray. Amen.
And now, singing the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome Ben Tainai.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Drivers, start your engine!
And he served in the army, where he lost his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my
Hey everybody, NASCAR driver Anthony Alfredo here.
Hey everybody, Brennan Gaughan here.
Larry McReynolds here with NASCAR on Fox.
All the drivers competing this year are supporting a great cause because this is racing monthly on iRacing that ultimately supports great causes.
Go out, enjoy, be safe, and have fun.
Good luck this season. Have a great time. Thanks for what you do, giving money to charity and getting a little iRacing in.
This is a great cause, a fun way to utilize the iRacing community in service to have fun competing against one another and doing good. I hope you guys enjoy racing in the Charity Cup Series. See you on the track.
Welcome to the Charity Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media for race number 3 of the Chase for the Charity Cup here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, doing the old configuration and looking forward to this one. In the booth tonight is myself and Gary. Gary, how are you doing tonight?
Well, great, man. It's good to be here in the booth with y'all tonight. Old Atlanta. I'm really looking forward to this. I think we should be putting on a good show here.
Absolutely. And I mean, Old Atlanta, definitely going to be a tire-heavy dominant track as these guys are going to burn through some tires. I want to say roughly about 15 laps is about all you're going to get here from my testing before you start to notice that tire wear. Going to have to keep those underneath you for 150 total laps here tonight. Fuel window roughly around 45 laps. I mean, with a track that's going to be old and kind of, rip up these tires, I mean, what's your mindset on trying to, be conservative but still go fast?
Yeah, I think that's just going to be the tough part for these guys to figure out. I think you'll see these first 5 to 10 laps here. Drivers will be repping that white line, harvicking as they would call it back in the day. But then shortly after that, they'll be looking for grip all over this racetrack, and we'll see them from the white line all the way up to the wall.
Yeah, track temp going to be 103 degrees right now, so certainly going to melt those tires as well. Just 72 degrees in the air, so not hot if you're standing around, but certainly walking on that asphalt is going to be a foot burning experience. But these guys out here, I remember back in the day that you would see, Harvick almost let off around the start finish line, and he would just coast that thing all the way into turns 1 and 2, and somewhere about midline would find his way to get back to that throttle. As these guys are out here running their warm-up laps right now, trying to get a little extra prep in before this thing goes green in a couple of minutes. But I mean, it's going to be a tricky, track to tame, and we see right now TJ Lane at the top of the board so far here in the practice results of 30.66. I think whoever can, maintain that right front is going to be the guy that comes out successful here. It's not as much as the the right rear and getting loose. It's more of trying to control that right front and keep from burning it to the ground and end up plowing into these corners.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I mean, it's definitely more of a right front burning type of racetrack at Atlanta. But really, if you can somehow even out your tire wear tonight, I think that's going to be a win for a lot of these guys.
Absolutely. And I want to point out, we do have the Charity Cup Series points standings for you. Is Great Lakes Sim 1, they've definitely been strong, sitting at the top of that leaderboard right now with 246 points. Full Blast Motorsports, or Full Blast 1, sitting at 196 in that P2 spot. Milk Dud Motorsports right behind in 194 points, with Unique Motorsports a little bit further behind at 140. And, these guys really going to have to push and try to get as much as they can with just the next 2 races left before we go into that 3-race weekend or 3-race series to crown the first Charity Cup Series winner.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tight race up toward the top here over the next few weeks, definitely with second and third. But, yeah, definitely going to be a tight race here over the next couple of races.
And, I mean, there's been no shortage of action. I know Great Lakes Sim 1 with Jacob Manning has been a very dominant, very strong truck. But, Curtis Mitchell, part of that Full Blast 1 racing, has always been right there on his heels, just ever so slightly, out of reach for that Jacob Manning number 50 machine. But I mean, just one bad race can certainly flip the tide and put the momentum in favor of that Full Blast team.
Yeah, it just goes to show here. I mean, with how competitive the field is, one mistake will separate you from first to 21st. So definitely a close field.
Yeah, just to go over a couple of these teams here while we're on that topic. Great Lakes Sim 1, those are going to be your TJ Elaine, Jacob Manning, Christopher Pendle, and Justin Crittenden. That Full Blast 1 is going to be Curtis Mitchell, Brenton Barker, Brian Bogner, and Patrick Craven. And then in that standings, Milk Dud Motorsports right behind in third. That is your Ray Massey, Jacob Link, Chris Rude, and Max Cost. So those are currently your 3 big hitters right now, certainly looking to go for this cup. As we get ready to grid up and get that starting lineup for you and run down where we're starting. Chris Rude, TJ Lane on the front row to start this thing. Jacob Manning and William George in that P3 and P4 spot. P5 and P6 going to be Christopher Pendle and Brenton Barker, followed by Ray Massey and Dylan Chavis in that row number 4. Jeff Schmeier and Justin Crittenden going to be starting at 9th and 10th here, with Jacob D. Davis and Brian Bogner in that row number 6. Jackson Wade and Curtis Mitchell going to be in 13th and 14th, with Dave Shutt and Tim Ruark in 15th and 16th. 17th and 18th going to be Ricky Miles and Patrick Craven. And in that last row here tonight, starting at the back of the field, going to be Adam Thompson and Corey Lavallo. That's going to round out our 20 truck field here tonight. as we get ready to go, running some different names up here at the front. Chris Rude on the pole, going after that $25 pole challenge, Great Lakes Sim pole challenge here. Last week, Jacob Manning was able to qualify on the pole and collect on that, so resets down to $25 as we get ready to roll around here. I mean, with the start looming, I mean, Gary, what are your initial thoughts before we get going in this thing?
Well, I think it's just like we talked about before. Tires, and more tires here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be a tough one here tonight. 150 laps. Track position is going to be another tough one. And I think we're going to see a lot of what you would call the Darlington stripe. It's going to transfer over here to Atlanta because the exit of turn 2 gets really tight on some of these guys later on into a run. So I think if you can keep the car clean, your tires in good shape, and maintain your track position, you're going to have a shot to win this race.
Absolutely. As we roundabout, we're going to have one more lap before we go green here, I believe. Or nope, pace car off. Green flag in the air. Racing from Old Atlanta here as Chris Rude and TJ Lane run side by side down into turn number 1 with Jacob Manning giving a massive push to Chris Rude. It's right now just a little steady as Jacob Manning. Oh, I say we a little steady. Jeff Schmeier gets a little loose. 3 wide as we head down to turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Jacob Manning wasting no time trying to get that race lead.
Definitely not a time waster there as he takes the lead. 3 wide for second now.
Yeah, TJ Lane said you guys can sort that out. I'll lead lap number 1 and take control here. As now Chris Rude falls down to 4th, and there's that turn 2 exit that you said, that Darlington stripe here in Atlanta, right there on the is at the 24, showing 26 of William George here. These guys are going for broke here early, trying to find that track position, which, you know, track position is always a major key component in, you know, just having a dominant run. You know, if you're in that dirty air, you can find yourself just having loads of trouble and your truck just doesn't move the way it wants.
Yeah, and Atlanta's just really hard to pass that. So the start and, of course, the following restarts here, these guys are going to be pushing it as hard as they can to just make up a few spots and try to get up to the front of the race.
Yeah, something I just noticed, speaking about moving up to the front, up 9 spots already in the 5th position is Curtis Mitchell. Came from 14th all the way up to 5th in just 3 completed laps. As we work number 4, a little bit of action up there in the front. You see Curtis Mitchell there just kind of bobble the steering wheel a little, showing how loose this truck is early on here. As some of these guys choosing that outside line as well.
Yeah, choosing the top side already, and I think that's how Curtis has gotten up to 5th at this point. It's just with all the moves they've been making.
Did not mean to cut you off there. William George slapping the wall there in the dog leg. And that was something I was going to point out, that, you know, at a track like this where they have that dog leg infield, I feel like as you're running, you try to run that, you know, as wide open as you can and kind of use it as like almost another turn and just kind of fade out to the wall. You can find yourself easily just sliding up into that wall and just completely ruining your day. But for William George right now, it doesn't seem to have affected that truck all too much. As Chris Rude making a run for the race lead underneath TJ Lane, doesn't have the run off. TJ Lane on that outside, able to carry that momentum out. And now William George fighting back past the 32 machine down there.
Yeah, it seems to be the line that you want to run here, I've noticed so far. If you could run that high side in 1 and 2, there is a lot of grip up there to keep that momentum up. But then if you could run the bottom to the middle in 3 and 4, just to keep your tires sane and not burn them up too much. I mean, that seems to be what most of these leaders are doing.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big thing, is trying to find where you notice that there isn't as much tire wear, and being able to keep a decent amount of speed to keep yourself in front of these guys. And I mean, based on the way that they're running here tonight, it doesn't seem like anyone's wasting any time for anything. So I think you've just got to be on it from go. As we're taking a look here at Dylan Chavis racing the number 6 truck here for the Wounded Warrior Project. As he gets a little sideways
And it
off the
caused like 2 or
corner.
3 trucks around him to get really loose there too.
Yeah.
Make an evasive action.
Kind of opened up a floodgate there as everybody kind of backs off. And you know, when you see someone sideways down on the apron, you still kind of have that look to the side and get a little freaked out. It's 3 wide for second place.
Well, 26 and 24 didn't want to make that happen, but Curtis there was all for making it 3 wide if he could have.
Yeah, Curtis up now 10 spots from the start of this thing. Chris Rude's fallen back down to 7th now, as he's got his teammate of Ray Massey right there on the back. Brian Bogner up 6 positions so far as well. So far that Full Blast team showing speed early in this thing.
Yeah, but it's all about what you can do later on down the line as we get further into this tire run, especially that 26 of William George right there. Saw him kind of slide the tires a little bit at the exit of turn 2. Can't do that too many times, otherwise you won't have any tire left by the end of the fuel.
Yeah, you can only hurt that so much. As Chris Rude again falling back down now 8 spots down from the start of this thing. And part of me wonders if maybe he just notices, you know, some of these guys are just racing incredibly difficult or incredibly hard right now. Maybe just backing off and try to, conserve a little bit. I didn't see him get any kind of contact with the wall or another truck, so you can't really start to think maybe there's, damage to him as you look there at that 32 machine. I don't see any bent or ruffled fenders. Maybe just kind of taking a conservative approach as he falls down to 11th now.
Yeah, hard to tell if he's got maybe damage we can't see, or if, like you said, he's just taking it easy and letting the tire run and the laps come to him. I mean, they are racing pretty hard and aggressive up there in the top 5, top 10, so I think he's just trying to bide his time.
Yeah, a big thing is, you're going to want to try to jump that number 50 of Jacob Manning. Since his arrival, he's been an incredibly strong truck and, just fights for every little thing. And, I mean, he ran away with it the last 2 races. And, you just gotta think of a strategy to run. And some of these guys are thinking, maybe if I just run as hard as I can.
That
33 machine of TJ Lane into the inside wall. Caution will fly. It looked like I saw somebody else down there with him. I'm not sure who it was, but we'll take a peek. Slide off the corner and just tried to save it. And no, didn't collect anybody else. Oh, yeah, the 24 of William George getting a lot of damage from that as well.
Yeah, and he did bounce off of the 50 there as well of Manning.
Did get a touch off that 50, which I think he could have possibly saved it. As you see right here, TJ Lane on that outside, just like you said, that turn 2. Oh, no, he got the wall. I thought maybe he just got loose. Tried to save it. Gets the 50. The 24 gets a shot into the rear bumper, which sends the 24 into Brian Bogner and the 30, I believe, of Justin Crittenden, maybe, or the 30.
Yeah, well, before that, it looked like the 24 broke loose, and then he involved everybody else that shot him up the racetrack.
Yeah, that was a lot of something really quick. TJ Lane, I didn't curse him this time, but I was gonna say how well he was running here. You see some of these guys back here,
and that's what happened. That's what caused it.
The 30 there plowing into that. Chris Rude, some damage on that left front. I mean, these guys do have that fast repair, but it's just going to be terrible to burn that up now.
Yeah, I think what you'll want to do is you'll want to see how much damage you have first without using the fast repair and see if you can get it fixed first.
I think Justin
tough break for some of these guys already.
I think Justin just thought, I have that outside. It's going to be open. It's going to be good. And it just didn't go his way whatsoever there. Ends up nose first into the 24 sitting on the track as Dylan Chavis. Chavis is the only guy to stay out here.
Yeah, well, if George and Curtis didn't make contact there, because after the 26 or 24, whatever he is, after he made contact with the 33, it sent him sideways and up, and then Mitchell just had nowhere to go and hit him, and that's what caused that second accident. So
yeah, a lot of something going on in that whole altercation. Everybody deciding
that
to
was an old school
burn.
Daytona wreck. You had the wreck, and then you had the follow up wreck after that.
Right? Yeah, the old chain reaction. When one thing happens, something else has happened somewhere else. You got your eye on the other wreck that's happening and don't realize that right in front of you, somebody's flipping upside down.
Yeah, right.
So for this restart, it's going to be Dylan Chavis and Christopher Pendle on that front row. Christopher Pendle has had a rough stretch as of late, but looking to right the ship, and certainly one guy to watch. Jackson Wade up 10 spots after everything. Finds himself in that third spot. And looking at some of these pit times, I would say some of these guys maybe either just right sides, or maybe they went just fuel only to maybe stretch it a little further. Maybe go for a little bit of a run. Yeah, you see here Christopher Pendle fuel only, Jackson Wade fuel only, Jacob Manning, Ray Massey the first ones to take tires, Renton Barker fuel only. There's a lot of fuel onlys here, but a couple 4 tires and 2 tires mixed in there as well. So 4 total sets of tires here tonight for these drivers.
Yeah, I guess it all just kind of depends on if you got involved in the incident or not, of how many tires you were to take.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go back to green flag racing here as Dylan Chavis is going to fire off here, and he's going to go down to the inside. Saves it. Well, I guess that brings up
what we'll have to look at is the wheel spin the rest of this race now, huh?
Exactly. I was going to say that going to bring in that if we have some later restarts and people don't have tires, going to have to worry about that spinning there. And that was wild. Dylan Chavis goes from hero all the way to back of the field here in 19th now.
Where's Larry Mack's tire file? I'll use one of those to demonstrate the cheese grater that the surface is.
Absolutely. And I mean, that just shows you 15 laps on a set of tires, and it causes that kind of spin. It's going to be interesting as we get later into this thing, as we're currently working on lap number 18 of 150 as they go down the backstretch here, with Christopher Pendle just tucking in behind that number 50 of Jacob Manning. That damage from the accident not slowing him down in any bit. Jackson Wade up 10 spots right here in P3. And one of our other dominant racers of Ray Massey sitting right there in that P4 spot. So everybody just kind of resettling back in. And I mean, when you have a moment like that, I feel like it flips that switch in a lot of drivers' head, like, oh, maybe we need to pull off this throttle a little bit and kind of take that breath.
Yeah, definitely. These guys have been pretty wound up since the start of this deal, and I think now we're going to see a little bit more a little more single file racing as opposed to before. But these guys they've been on edge since the start of this thing.
Yeah, that's to say it lightly, as well as Ray Massey goes to the inside of Jackson Wade. Looks like Christopher Pendle grabbed a touch of the wall there. As these guys, I think that's going to help a lot of these guys eliminate that long run. You know, we're looking at roughly about 45 laps a fuel run, and you know, getting that fuel only, saving a set of tires. You don't have to worry about making all the tires last. Gives you a little bit of an extra set in the back pocket, if you will, if we get a late race caution, as we've seen a couple times throughout this series. As we're 2x2 here for second and third. As Corey Lavallo right there in sixth. He's currently up 14 spots in the sixth position, so he's a big mover after all of that, as well as Dave Shutt as well in the 75 machine right there, up 11 spots. fighting to get himself into that top 4. As you see right there on the side of Jackson Wade, his charity of choice for this week, as he just puts a Darlington Atlanta stripe on the side. He's racing for the Samantha and Kyle Busch, a Bundle of Joy Foundation on that number 90 truck. As he goes to the inside of Pendle again, now it's a fight for P3. As now the 75 of David Shutt going to find the race lead from Jacob Manning.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to do that from the bottom of the racetrack too. So a lot of these guys are making it work, and he's choosing the middle right now. And he's like, "Forget the tire wear. I'm going to the front. I'll pay the consequences later."
Get out of Dodge and head for the hills and try to get as far from this pack as you can, and hope that you can hang on to it late in this run before making a green flag stop, or you get that lucky caution just as you start to get tracked down and get matched up with everybody on equal tires. We're almost 3 wide there. So we have a long line of
behind Dave here.
Yeah, everybody. We said they were going to run single file for a while, but now a lot of these guys just want to fight for position. As it looked like Pendle got a little loose there on the bottom for just a second touch of the grass right there.
And some of these guys think they saved their tires a little bit, and now they want to go. And some of the guys that decided to go there from that restart, now they're wanting to save a little bit. So I think we're just having a little bit of a jockeying of position and some comers and goers here at the moment.
Yeah, Crittenden shot the gap there, split the 77, and Pendle was going to make it work, and then just a little bit of a hesitation from the rear end that stepped out and didn't allow him to complete the pass right then and there. But now he does take over that P5 spot from Brenton Barker, and now looks to go on the attack over Jackson Wade. As you see now, TJ Elaine still sitting back there in that 13th spot, and I think now TJ Elaine's going to be one of those guys that's going to be a little bit more on the conservative side, simply burning that fast repair and not going to be able to rely on that if he gets into a situation later on. Here is now Crittenden looking to go after P2. He's going to get that P2 spot from Jacob Manning. So something we don't see a ton of here is people getting up and by Jacob Manning. So Jacob Manning just kind of biding his time here. TJ Lane with Curtis Mitchell right there side by side. Those two coming down. And I don't think Curtis got any major damage, if any, from that last incident, but stuck back here in that 14th position with TJ right now. There's Chris Rude right there and ahead of them as well.
Time and, I'm looking here at the intervals and the track map that I can see, and
ooh, TJ Lane in the wall again. Sorry to cut you off, TJ Lane riding the fence.
But yeah, everybody's kind of split up into like 2 or 3 different packs right now, so everybody's just kind of spreading out. But also when they're not spread out and they're in these packs, there's like 5 to 8 trucks, it seems like, per pack right now.
Yeah, right now, David Shutt and Justin Crittenden both running low 32s, almost in the 31, or in the 31s. Wow, English for their fastest times. Currently, last lap around 32:13 for your race leader, 32:10 by Justin Crittenden, and then you have a 32:48 by your P3 driver right here in Jacob Manning. So not a ton of separation time-wise, but certainly a little lighter on the foot as they run right now.
Yeah, I just feel like Jacob is just holding back and being very, very disciplined with the inputs on the wheel and the throttle. And I think he's just trying to take his time to save those tires, because, if you do this for 15, 20 laps, that's when you'll start running those guys back down.
Yeah, Jacob Manning, one of the racers for the Bundle of Joy Foundation, as TJ Lane gets turned by the 44 of Tim Ruark. I just took a look to the right to read off some information. Mitchell getting plowed into by Dylan Chavis as well.
Oh, pretty big crash here.
They went 3 wide. I took a peek to the right to read off some information, and all of a sudden, I see TJ Elaine getting turned sideways by the 44 up into Curtis Mitchell. That was not a pretty sight.
They were definitely 3 wide there, and I don't know, it almost looks like maybe the 33 got tight, potentially, and came up the track, and maybe the 44 came down a little bit too. Just one of those things.
So definitely
not the night for TJ Elaine, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not the night for TJ Elaine. It almost looks like he drives in a little deeper, trying to make it work and make a move, and he just comes up the track ever so slightly and gets a hook. So that's going to be a big setback for, Curtis Mitchell. I don't know if he burned anything that last caution, but he certainly, right there, it's almost like he just drove it in a little deeper and got hooked. I don't think it was really
just nowhere for TJ to go right there, or Curtis rather. Nowhere to go.
You see all over the back bumper, he's going to dive down to this inside line, and I think it's almost like it just starts to plow right there. It was kind of weird, actually, looking at it another time. It was just like he got side by side with them, and it was almost like a magnet just pulled him upwards into that 44.
Well, and iRacing's been messing with the aerodynamics, so I don't know if it could have been the air is what made him tight right there, or if there was some net code or something. It's really hard to tell.
Well, while they settle all that out and get their repairs done, we're going to step aside for just a quick moment and be back for more action with the Charity Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Oh, and just as we come back, a massive stack up at the front of the field.
Man, these guys were just not watching the wheel spin, Jordan.
Yeah, the wheel spin when you're out on an old set of tires, you just got to know. As we take another look at this, and it looks like, the 01 of Corey Lavallo, he got loose. And then I think a little bit further was the 75 of Dave Shutt. He got loose as well, just a little bit later. And take a peek.
Yeah, he got loose at the beginning there, trying to get into the throttle, and then the 01 was trying to jump it a little bit.
Oh, it was Crittenden. Crittenden got loose on the outside and collected Shutt, but then everyone just gets stacked up there and nowhere to go. And
Yeah, and it all kind of started with the 01 there, Corey. I mean, he was the first one to really kind of get sideways, and then the 30 trying to keep up with that 75. He also got sideways and got into the 75, and it's just on from there. Kind of a simultaneous wrecking.
Synchronized slipping, sliding, and swerving.
Yes.
What's that? The S's alliteration. I don't know. I wasn't very good at English.
Neither was I. And
I
we're
think it's called.
speaking
I think
English.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I can speak it. I spoke it, but I don't know if I speak or spoke it right. So I'm pretty sure if my middle school teachers somehow watching this, I hope I made you proud with remembering what alliteration is.
Oh, we've got pit stops here. Everybody getting fuel, damage, all the things.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of takers here, and then some staying out. Top 6 have stayed out. Ray Massey, Jacob Manning, Jackson Wade, Christopher Pendle, Justin Crittenden, and Ricky Miles. Those guys all staying out. Justin Crittenden hasn't been down since lap 14. He just had that. I guess he didn't get as much of damage as I would have expected from during the side of David Shutt, but definitely still out there on those old tires. So let's
gonna have to watch the restart again.
Keep an eye there on the 30. But I mean, that just was all. I mean, you come back from break, and then all of a sudden, everybody's everywhere and not where they should be. So
sorry for saying something, stepping on your intro there. I just couldn't help myself.
There's no reason to be sorry for that. Is it just pandemonium took over, and as it looks like Adam Thompson and Corey Lavallo going to come back down and get more service there. Corey Lavallo was running really good, was up. I want to say I'm trying to do math. I can do quick math, but it's not going to be correct. Was up about 14 spots or so, sitting up there in that P3 spot. So I mean, he was running good, had a good spot, but just him and Crittenden getting loose. So I'm gonna have to really pay attention to this restart, as Ray Massey and Jacob Manning going to be on that front row to bring us back to green. Jackson Wade is going to be in that third spot, sitting 10 spots forward. Our current biggest mover of the night so far. I mean, we've seen those guys come and go in bunches so far here tonight.
Yeah, definitely an understatement so far here. Gonna be interesting. Gonna have to watch the wheel spin on this restart, boys.
Absolutely is. That pace truck's going to hand that control to Ray Massey as he's going to cut all the way to that restart zone and fire off. And we get away cleanly so far here as we head back down towards turn number 1. Ray Massey taking the lead solely. But it looked like Jackson Wade. And no, I don't know who that was. I couldn't see the number. It looks like maybe Ricky Miles. Could be wrong on the number. Adam Thompson, maybe. Patrick Craven, I think, is the number that fell all the way back, getting loose there off a turn or into turn 1. Ray Massey falls down to almost 4th now, as Jackson Wade and Jacob Manning going to fight side by side for the race lead. Is Jacob Manning going to lead that lap?
Yeah, it looks like Brian Bogner was the one that got loose there in the inside of turns 1 and 2 there. But it was the 5 of Ricky Miles that hit the wall going into turn 1 that might have caused the evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like if you're gonna have to restart, you're gonna have to be gentle. I mean, I know it would probably cause a stack up, but you know, on an old set of tires, I'd almost start in like a third gear, or just immediately short shift into third on the start, just to control the wheel spin.
Yeah, you almost kind of have to. I know I mentioned Darlington earlier, and I don't know if I got a third eye look from anybody in the booth up here, but you almost kind of have to treat this like a Darlington style restart too, with how worn out that surface is, and how you really have to modulate the throttle when you're trying to get going. So,
right. I mean, when
these restarts have kind of been a wild card so far.
Right. I mean, when you're running like your Daytonas and your Talladegas and those larger tracks, Michigan, where you run such a different gearing, you can kind of just throw your foot through the floor, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It's got to get wound up. It's almost like I don't know how schooled you are on some of the short track racing, but like bandoleros, it's almost like a bandolero where it's got one gear and it's just got to rev all the way out. It's but when you're here like these shorter tracks, this is not a short track, but shorter tracks, you've got that gear to where as soon as you put that pedal to the floor, it gives you pretty much 99% of the power to the floor, and that's what causes that wheel spin plus the bad time.
Oh, we got sideways again. Oh my goodness!
Somehow we make it through
scattering. Well, I wouldn't say it through yet.
I was like, I paused for dramatic effect there. But somehow we come through cleanly on that. Is the 34, the 32 of Chris Rude almost getting into a little bit of something. David Shutt moved back up in the line somehow and did not get hooked. I mean, that had to been like millimeters from the bumper of the truck that he slid up in front of. It looks like the fender on that 34 of Jacob Davis is no longer attached.
These guys are just racing so hard throughout this pack here tonight. I mean, even we've got a battle for the lead developing between the 50 and the 14 here, or the 90 on the truck, 14 in the sim.
As Jackson Wade trying to get up and by Jacob Manning. You don't want to let Jacob Manning get out of your sight, because the second he's out of your sight, you find yourself forever away. As you see right here on Christopher Pendle, he's right there in line as well. Those three have seemed to have kind of broken away about a second and a half ahead of Ray Massey, so kind of separating themselves from the situation. Wade wanted a good run there, tried to get to the inside and get a little bit of a little sniff of the inside.
We're about to have a wreck here in the mid-pack again. These guys back here for 10th have not stopped.
Yeah, Corey Lavallo and Brian Bogner, those two side by side through the corner. Those guys fighting right behind them. Crittenden, Brenton Barker, and Jacob Davis, they were all three fighting with each other. Is that who I think it is? Trying to find a way. He's just 2 laps down right now. TJ Elaine is in the 18th position right now. Has a clean truck, which flabbergasted by how he has a clean truck still.
You and me both.
I would have for sure thought that wouldn't have been a fully repaired truck, but it looks as though it's fully repaired. Might be down on power. We do not know, but TJ Elaine out here trying to just maybe get back on this lead lap. Still plenty of time in this thing. Working lap 48 of 150. Power. Oh yeah, he's got power on the outside.
I can hear it. He's good.
So TJ Lane, we have to keep an eye on that there as we go back up front. Christopher Pendle finds his way around Jackson Wade to now go challenge Jacob Manning for this race lead, which I'm a little surprised. The last 2 races, Manning was able to just check out and, you'd almost just want to sign the check over and move on to the next week. But here this week, I mean, with the cautions and everything, we found Jacob Manning being a little bit susceptible to being passed for the race lead.
As the kids say, they need to get good. I think that's what a lot of these guys have done over the last few weeks to try and dethrone Jacob Manning. These kids have gotten good to make sure they can make some moves and make sure that he's beatable.
Absolutely. I mean, teammate in Christopher Pendle right there behind him. And those two just looking to maximize points. So I don't see them really shoving each other around too hard. David Shutt finding himself right there to the inside of Jackson Wade. So,
the 90 wanted to send that 94, but you just can't bump draft to these trucks at this racetrack. You just can't do it. You're going to cause a big, massive pileup. As a 94, he's looking to make that move to the inside, and he will.
Yeah, Dave Shutt and Jackson Wade both up pretty far from where they started. Up 10 for Jackson Wade, up 11 for Dave Shutt.
Almost.
As those two are just kind of, as those two are just kind of, I mean, they're kind of sitting there and wait to see what these guys do and make their attack. As William George now trying to pull himself into this front pack. So, I mean, just a moment ago they had about a 1.5 second lead over Ray Massey. Well, Dave Shutt and William George said we don't feel like waiting and decided to hop on and try to make a run up there to those guys.
Yeah, and there's still a little less than 100 laps to go in this thing, so still plenty of racing left.
Yeah, absolutely. Just crossed the 33% mark, the 1/3 mark. See, I can do quick math.
Look at that. That's impressive.
That one was actually correct, too, so.
It was. It was very nice. That 94 keeps trying the bottom in 1 and 2, and it's just not working.
But it right there on corner entry, I felt like it was a little too close for comfort as he was right there on that left rear quarter panel. He almost drove on the apron there down the backstretch just to get some separation, as now these three have kind of broken away from David Shutt and William George. Back here at Crittenden.
Can just run the middle lane, something that's not the bottom where he could try to keep his momentum up. He might have a shot because he seems to be faster than Manning right now. It's just a matter of how he's going to make that pass.
Yeah, right here it's Brenton Barker and Justin Crittenden side by side. Brenton Barker, even with a little bit of that nose damage, still able to move forward. You see that 29 of Bogner just behind him with a little bit of right front damage there. So these guys are kind of the group of just a little messed up. Is I believe I saw the 34 of Jacob Davis right there as well, missing that left front fender. It almost looks like the fender is like lodged inside the front firewall of that truck, at least on my screen.
It definitely does look that way, for sure.
Oh, now you can actually see it flopping around there in his lap, which is not ideal. If your front fender is in your lap while you're racing, I don't think it's very good for your aero.
No, definitely not a good time. As we've got a pass for the lead here. 94 looks like he's finally able to take that high side in 1 and 2 and make the move, and he's going to clear Manning up off of turn number 2.
Yeah, now that's going to put Jackson Wade right there on the rear bumper of the 50, and he's certainly going to want to look to go forward as well.
Yeah, you got teammates running here second and in third.
Yeah, looking here at Christopher Pendle, racing for Autism Speaks. He is a father of a son. His son has autism, so racing for Autism Speaks. It's really near and dear to his heart, as we love seeing the beautiful purple paint scheme that he's got on that machine for his Great Lakes Sims 1 race truck.
Great looking race truck, by the way. Love that.
Absolutely. That's one thing I can say as well. The Great Lakes Sims has some of the greatest paint schemes across the two teams that run here tonight. As I believe Jackson Wade has the Bundle of Joy. It's the 26 showing 24 of William George, also one of those Great Lakes Sim paint schemes as well, and that bright green can't miss it color.
Ooh,
whoa, big slide by the 94.
Close. Yeah,
big slide by the 94.
It's going to cost him the lead here, and
may even lose second.
William George here, he's trying to get around this 75 as well, see if he can get up into that 4th spot and start chasing some of these guys down. But 94 going to have to cool off his tires and see if he can try and get these guys back.
Yeah, starting to approach around 30 laps on this set of tires for these front three. As these guys are, you can see it with how it snaps loose off corner a little bit. So, I mean, not plowing into the corners. So, I mean, they're doing the savings on the front end. But that rear end is certainly wanting to step out on these guys as we take a peek here at TJ Lane and Corey Lavallo. Again, TJ Lane 2 laps down in 18th right now, just trying to fight his way forward. as Corey Lavallo up 14 spots in the 6th spot, just trying to run his race.
And TJ Lane almost mistimed it there. I thought he was about to turn the 0-1. They were so close going into turn 3 there, but yeah, these guys they're running hard still. And you know, I figured that these trucks would tighten up as the run goes on, but it definitely looks to be the opposite as you've observed here. It's definitely gotten a lot looser for these guys.
Yeah, it seems like the further we get into this thing, the more it just wants to step around and create havoc, as we've seen a couple times here. And I mean, if you're TJ Lane, you're 2 laps down, you're trying to get everything back, you're trying to get yourself back into this, race and have a run for something here. It's got to be frustrating to, just kind of be just out here running laps. I know you have in your mind, like, what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to get back to the lead lap. But, as you run later into a run and you're not where you want to be, it's certainly got to feel frustrating. And, you see the aggression that he had trying to get up and by Corey Lavallo as he now completes that pass and sets his sights there on Dave Shutt and William George.
Yeah, and if I was Corey, I probably would have let him go just a couple laps ago. It's like, hey, he's not racing for anything. Just let him go and let him burn his stuff up, and maybe he could burn his stuff up with the guys in front of me and see if I can run them back down.
Right. I mean, you let him get up there in the mix with Dave Shutt and William George, and it could easily just slow them down, as you see here. TJ Lane.
Oh, TJ got loose again.
Yeah, again, it's just that aggression of trying to fight his way forward. I mean, if he can get a lap back before these guys make a stop, I mean, he could be setting himself up in a pretty good position. But
well, if we get a caution right now, Patrick Craven just got lapped, so TJ is not in that lucky dog position. So he'll basically have to make up a lot of ground by himself, because he'll have to pass that 20 car twice to even think about being in position for a lucky dog.
Yeah, so it's going to be a tough night to get back to square for that 33 truck of TJ Lane. But I mean, look at that right there. The Corey Lavallo 01 machine kind of just drew him into that battle there with William George and Dave Shutt.
It's almost like I predicted that.
Your crystal ball told you so.
Seems to be working today. I don't know what it is, but these guys, when we've been able to stay green, the racing here throughout the field has been phenomenal. The 75 on the apron.
Yeah, I saw Dave Shutt down on the apron. Maybe coming to pit road this time.
Seems kind of weird that he would enter from turn 3. I mean, that's what you do at New Atlanta, but
maybe just trying to be conservative.
He's trying to get out of here.
So Dave Shutt is gone and out of this thing. Not sure what the case is for that, but a strong truck just left. Jacob Manning and Jackson Wade in the front 2 spots here. Christopher Pendle fell back to 3rd. As these guys are getting closer and closer to that time to start thinking about pitting, as they're just now hitting around 45 laps since their last pit stop. We know that 45 laps is roughly a guesstimation of what you can run on a fuel load here. So I'd look for these guys to maybe be hitting the pit road at any moment.
Yeah, it seems like anywhere from 45 to 55 is kind of that magic spot, but we'll just have to see as these guys keep on going. We've had a few cautions, and a few guys have been able to either save under caution or pit for fuel only. So
yeah, I don't know if I'd take the fuel only. That would be scary.
Well, we saw how it paid off on the restarts for those guys that took fuel only or 2 tires, and let's just say it didn't work out very well.
Yeah, I mean, that might even be something we'd have to pay attention to if we start getting into some of these green flag stops. Is Justin Crittenden going to woe his truck back and come down pit road? Some of these guys trying to get off of pit lane and just giving it a little too much throttle, they might find themselves sending themselves around on the apron. I know it'll be fresh tires, but cold tires can quickly snap around on you, as well as these
Yeah,
old.
cold tires on a hottish track. I mean, it's about 98-degree track temp, but I mean, we've seen how worn
Oh,
out this
Crittenden
surface
missed the
is.
box.
Yeah, he sure did. It wasn't even close. And he's still not in his. Oh, okay. They're going to give it to him. Nice.
So now
That's the
Jackson
line on my end.
Jackson Wade here in the P2. It seems like every couple of minutes we see these guys kind of like, Jackson Wade and Christopher Pendle will fight each other, and then you'll have Jackson Wade and Jacob Manning fight each other. Then Christopher Pendle and Jacob Manning fight each other. It's like this revolving door of who fights who, as Ray Massey's found himself up to the back bumper of the 01 of Corey Lavallo. Corey Lavallo so far our biggest mover, 15 spots north of where he started from the tail end of this field.
Yeah, it just seems like it's especially with our top three, it's kind of like a rubber band effect. They get spread out a little bit, and they kind of come back together, and it's just kind of been a rubber band or an accordion effect all night as the 94's up in the wall.
Yeah, I feel like this track is getting really dark. I don't know if we got some high, high cloud cover or what, but I feel like it's gotten a little dark around here.
It has, and it's just got to cool off this track just a little bit. I've noticed it's already fallen a couple of degrees since that cloud cover set in, so still blue skies here, at least in the simulated Atlanta, Georgia. I can't speak for much about the other Atlanta now, but,
Yeah, it was Ray Massey right there in that walking and rolling costumes. Number 23 machine goes to the inside of the 01 of Corey Lavallo. I don't know how to say the sponsor for Corey Lavallo, the blank Cancer 01 machine racing.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
F-Star.
Say, F-U, Cancer.
Yeah,
there
as close as we can get to that one.
That's about as close as a PG as we'll get. That's
definitely showing Cancer who's boss on that. I'm literally
censor out, blur it out here.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm trying to find the words to use, but certainly I agree with the statement of blank Cancer. It's Jacob D. Davis here, still got that fender in his lap with Tim Ruark. He's starting to make his stop. As we still got a couple of guys, Ricky Miles out here running about 9 laps down, still out here running for a good cause and just out here to make laps as he's racing for the SPCA International Foundation. As that's what it's all about. We're here to have fun and here to race for all these different charities. And hang on to it, Ricky. So Ricky went for a little bit of a wild ride for a second there. But we're all here for a good time to pick around and run around this track. Looks like Crittenden Ruark is just sitting on pit road. Dave Shutt has
Miles getting sideways like he did. He looked like he had 2 tires on the apron, and that'll definitely make you loose.
See, when that happens, it's usually because I reach over for my drink or something, and I yank the wheel to the left or right, and then I just be like, oh, I got loose. I didn't get loose. I was trying to eat or something.
or grab a non-alcoholic beverage when you sim race. Nudge.
Absolutely.
Because, can't talk about that stuff here.
I think we're going to have to maybe... my math was way off. They were only at around 35 laps on a run the last time we spoke about it. Because they were at lap 67. They're now hitting that 45 lap threshold. So now we can start maybe...
Yeah, their pit lap was 32. That's probably what you saw there.
I can do quick math.
It's not always right.
It's not always right.
Yeah.
As Ray Massey's going to be one of the first of the top 10 to make a stop and come down pit road. So,
yeah, it seems like we're kind of hitting that threshold now of 40 laps officially now. It's not 40 laps, Anyways, things happen. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we see our leaders start making their way down pit road, as in the top front runners here. But Ray Massey, it looks like possibly Curtis Mitchell here going to be making a pit stop. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
we've
Making
seen
me
a
look
lot
like
of
a
these
liar.
guys. We've seen a lot of these guys stretch these fuel runs out really far. So I mean, I would not put it past, especially that number 50 right there of Manning. He is one of those guys that will certainly push the envelope of how far that truck will go. I mean, he'll run it to where it's just fumes, just enough fumes to keep the motor turning, and then bring it down pit road. So still going to leave them with a one more stop that they'll have to make, because you figure they come down sometime within the next couple of laps. It'll still leave them with more than, say, 50 to go. So we should see these guys take on a second pit stop, as it looks as though maybe thought the 50 was slowing up there a little bit. Tim Ruark just on them fresh tires just looked so much faster.
Oh, yeah, and that's the one thing that we're going to have to watch out for over these next few laps is as the leaders do stay out and some of the back half of the leaders come into pit and are out on these fresh tires, it's just something that we'll have to pay attention to of the speed differential, because it's quite a bit of fall off. Because I'm looking at Jacob Manning, for example. His fastest lap is a 30.93, and his last lap was a 32.88. So
Yeah, so
quite a bit
you're
of fall off here.
talking just outside of just under 2 seconds of a full fall off there. So I mean, that's a vast difference. You were sitting here right there on the right side of your screen, can see how many laps were since their last pit. The top three, 49 laps this run, as it looks like Chris Rude, he was out for 44 laps. Chris Rude's going to make his stop here now. So seeing some guys start to make their ways down the road. And again, got to just watch that speed off of pit road. It's going to be a big thing just to get back on the racing surface. Is William George going to be the first of the top 5 to make his move?
He's on the pit lane here, and I think if I'm Jacob Manning or Jackson Wade, I'm definitely looking to see what this 26 truck will do when he comes out of the pits and how fast he's going to be, because that might prompt me and nudge me to go ahead and make a pit stop.
Well, it certainly nudged the 94 to make a
Yeah, I
move
was
down
just
pit
getting ready to
road.
say that.
He pits from a P3, as there
Now
goes
that
Manning.
will get Wade and Manning's attention right there, with the 94 coming in and short pitting. So they'll definitely be looking at that and see how much longer they have before they make a pit stop.
Yeah, TJ Lane has made his stop and made his service. Brenton Barker, Curtis Mitchell, Brian
Oh, and the
Bogner,
50's
Jacob
trying, and
Davis.
here he comes.
Oh,
I
just
thought
gets down.
I thought he was going to do something there.
Yeah,
That was close.
definitely pushes it to the very edge to get onto that pit road. I mean, you got to fight for every 1/10 of a second, especially
And he
with
had
how
those
fast.
2 other trucks in front of him there, too, which was even more impressive.
Exactly. As now Adam Thompson, Corey Lavallo going to come in, so that leaves just Jackson Wade right now on the racing surface that pitted back in the 30s.
Just
that has
kidding.
not
He's
made
on
it
pit
stop.
road.
And he's coming down now. See, it's just how it works. You talk about it, they change their mind to make you look like you don't know what you're talking about.
That's right. That's right.
As now Manning's going to leave his stall and head around the apron and see where it puts these guys as they all merge back into traffic, as Jeff Schmeier going to get up next to the 50 right now. Schmeier has been on the racing surface for about 20 or so laps on
I
this
think he's
set
going
of
to
tires
cycle through as
already.
the leader. Provisionally wise, anyways.
As Jackson Wade is just now leaving the pit road line, and there goes by Manning.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to put Manning back in the lead, because with Jackson being on pit road, and he's now exiting pit road. So I think it's just going to be our typical 3 suspects once again, and Jacob has built himself a decent lead here. with his aggressive entry, I think that definitely paid dividends for him coming into pit road as aggressive as he was.
Yeah, I mean, usually when the guy that undercuts the field, usually that guy can make up a ton of time, but it looks like for Christopher Pendle, he's sitting about half a second off of Jacob Manning now, so not as close as they were. Chris Ruud here in the 9th spot, sitting about 23 seconds off of the race lead. He is the guy that's going for the pole challenge tonight as he sits 8 spots from that pole.
Yeah, kind of a disappointing run is 01. Corey Lavallo saved it. He had a big moment, but I was getting ready to say about Chris Ruud was I think he was expecting to run better, and I definitely was expecting him to run better starting from that pole position. And just, I think you just have one of those days where you're really fast, and then for the race, you're just like, what happened? And I think that's kind of where Chris Ruud is right now. He's like, what happened to my speed?
Right. Chris Ruud, part of that Milk Dud Motorsports, or Milk Dud Motors, my apologies. Milk Dud Motors racing the same foundation walk-in and roll-in costumes as his teammate in Ray Massey. Both of those guys sitting in P3 in points right now, trying to close in on those other two teams of Full Blast and Great Lakes Sim 1. So they sit about 50 or so points out of that first place spot. So looking to maybe make up a bit of time or a bit of spots, get themselves higher up and maybe pop into that second place spot and set themselves up for the chase. As we just have the rest of this race and next race before we start that 3-race run for the first Cup. We'll be racing at Kansas on July 26th. It'll be the last race before the playoffs begin. And then we'll run Michigan on August 9th, followed by New Hampshire for August 3rd, and round out the first Chase for the Charity Cup on August 30th from Homestead at Miami, which those 3 tracks are vastly different and should be a ton of fun to watch. I mean, Michigan, a massive 2-miler, and then New Hampshire, just kind of a flat track. And then you go to Homestead, another one of those intermediates, but fast, high line dominant tracks. So a vast different of challenges in that playoffs that should be a ton of fun for us to watch here.
Yeah, and Homestead and here tonight, Atlanta, they race kind of similar because they're 1.5 miles, but both tracks seem to be abrasive on tires. And Homestead, while it is a high line dominant racetrack for the most part, it seems like in recent years they've been able to get that inside lane to work. So that should be a good race. And then New Hampshire is one of my favorites because, it may be a mile track and it's flat, but it definitely has those short track characteristics in the corners with the way you can kind of beat and bang your way up to the front.
Yeah, and it's one of those tracks that is very easy to, kind of slide through the corner. And you would think that a bank track would be a lot easier to kind of slide around, but if you go into a corner in New Hampshire and you're still just a touch bit too fast, I mean, there's no banking to really help start turning your truck. So you kind of just go right through the corner.
Yeah, and New Hampshire, I mean, it's got multiple lanes as well. I mean, we've seen people try to hug the yellow line down there, and it does have a little bit of a progressive banking look to it, to where there's about 2 or 3, 4 different lanes that you could choose from in New Hampshire. But the important thing is, like you said, it's just not sliding.
No, big moment for William George, not to cut you off, but big moment for William George there, as he's goes for a little bit of a slide. Yeah, but that shows you the skill level within this entire league, though, so far. Is we've seen a lot of guys do that. We've only seen a couple of them, lose it, or, when they do lose it, it's because they, made a little bit of contact with the wall or a little bit of contact with another truck. When it's by themselves, they've been able to hang on to it and just kind of drive through the slide. As you see the 34 Jacob Davis get a little bit loose there as well. So,
the 90 and the 30 almost made contact. Or 14 and 30, I guess.
Yeah, so these guys certainly able to drive through the adverse conditions of their their race trucks. Is Jeff Schmeier going to start falling here as as expected? Being about 30 laps difference in tires, but just trying to set himself up for one of these last pit stops. And I mean, he's going to be within that window here shortly in the next, I want to say about 4 to 5, maybe 6 laps. We saw these guys go about 50, just about 50. So if he can get just a little bit further along, say about 107 is about 40 laps for him. So if he can get past that, I mean, he'd be well off and well good to make one stop and go and be set up right here in that 7th position. So keep an eye on that 22 machine as well.
And the 94 has found his way back to the rear deck lid almost of that 50 truck of Jacob Manning.
Yeah, just 0.2 of a second, a little less now, 1/10 or 1 point. Wow, I can't speak. Under 1/10 of a second for the race lead. Wow. Like I said, English is hard, but yet it's my first language. It's Christopher Pendle and Jacob Manning side by side up there, probably.
Almost side by side. Can't quite get there. The 94 is kind of running into the same issue he had last run of figuring out how he's going to pass the 50, but I think if he goes back to his notebook there of the last run and just get up on that high side, he'll definitely be able to pass him.
You see Curtis Mitchell right there in the hindsight of William George trying to get up into that P4 spot. I mean, at what point in a race do you start to think, if I can just get to this guy, or if I could just get to these two guys, or when do you start to say, I don't have the speed to win, but I have the speed to have a really good day?
Yeah, I would say when you're getting up into that 3rd, 4th, 5th spot, right there on the fringe of the podium, I mean, that's when you think you're really having a good day. But especially here in this league, a lot of talented guys up in here, and all racing for a good cause. I think if you come away with a podium at the end of the day, you're in really good shape.
Absolutely. Right now, that podium would be Jacob Manning, Christopher Pendle, and Jackson Wade. Jackson Wade sitting about 3.5 seconds or so off of the back bumper of Manning, with Pendle just about 0.2 of a second off the tail end of him.
And leaders are navigating lap traffic a little bit as we speak here, and they're getting around the 44 of Tim Ruark. I hope I pronounced your name right there, Tim.
Yeah, some different names here, but some names that we've learned very well and have loved to follow this entire series.
But yeah, this race has pretty much been well spread out up to this point. The leader, the top 2 are right there together. The 3rd place guy is in no man's land, and then you've got 4th and 5th kind of near each other.
Yeah, as still here on William George in this P4 spot. He sits around 14.5 seconds off the race lead of Manning, and Pendle has kind of lost some time there, about 0.4 seconds off of Jacob Manning. As these guys have definitely got to be getting close to, as I say close, William George gets close to the wall. As Manning and Pendle there, that's the gap that you see now.
Yeah, it's about 11 seconds for George to get to the back bumper there of Jackson Wade. And Pendle and Jacob, I mean, Pendle would catch him for a few laps. He'd be a little bit faster. Then Jacob would be able to pull away. And that's just kind of what we've been seeing with this battle for the lead here in the last 20 or 30 laps or so.
Yeah, and I mean, as you sit here, I mean, Christopher Pendle and Jacob Manning on the same team, racing for the same cup. It's team points. It's not your standard, one guy, championship. It's team championship. So right now, I mean, you've got 1-2 finish for these guys in this championship points. Jackson Wade right here. Curtis Mitchell has moved into that P4 spot, overtaking William George, and now he's got a long ways ahead of him to get back to that that top 3 podium spot. About 12 seconds in separation from Mitchell to Wade. So far tonight, our biggest mover is Adam Thompson here, up 12 spots from the start. Corey Lovato also up 12 spots, right there behind Adam Thompson. So both those guys up 12 spots. Jackson Wade, Curtis Mitchell, those guys up 10 spots each. It looks like Ray Massey just dove to the apron. I think it was Ray Massey. I'm not entirely sure.
Yep, it is Ray Massey.
Yeah, Ray
Massey.
Massey.
And he spins.
Oh, what happened to the 23? So Ray Massey having a situation.
Yeah, I don't know if he's having an issue with maybe his monitors went out or something. I've had that happen before. That's a scary feeling.
That is a scary feeling. I've had my wheel disconnect and then it just drive hard to the left. That's a
fun time. It's happened to me a few times.
It just looks like he got almost like loose there. But
yeah, just from the start finish line onward, he just went straight to the apron. I mean, you'll see it coming out here on the replay now. Just
dove right to the apron, and then while going around corner, just all of a sudden took a hard left turn. But
it's almost like he had a hardware issue or something in that moment.
Definitely some kind of situation there. These guys are certainly starting to get within that that pit stop window. I mean, if you pit now, you can get there to the end. It's just going to be a 40-lap run to the end from here. Jeff Schmeier's already decided to take his down pit road on about just 5 laps ago. So now he's going to make that trek, maybe try to run a little harder and capitalize on these guys being on some older stuff. Maybe put himself right there in the topic of conversation and maybe get a far enough jump start that maybe he can kind of steal one here at the end. It's going to be it's one of those tougher strategies. I mean, you make that run and you come down earlier than everybody, and you run a full length run as opposed to these guys that are going to run about 40 to 35 laps, 30 laps on their run. You're going to have to really push and get as far out and just, essentially pray that you can keep yourself out in front of those guys that pit later than you.
Yeah, and I'm thinking from a strategy move here. If I'm Pendle or if I'm Wade right now, last pit of lap 83, lap 85, I'm looking to possibly here in the next 2 or 3 laps come on in here and try to short pit because, I mean, Pendle has lost ground on the 50 and the 14's been out to lunch. So if I'm Jackson in particular, I definitely want to try and short pit this and try to stop the bleeding a little bit with the gap that's been built up.
Yeah, we've kind of hit that plateau kind of where everybody's kind of got the same situation. They're all kind of running the similar, times within a couple of tenths. Nobody's really got that breakout speed that's, a ton faster. So, if you just follow the leader, which is kind of funny to say because really you are just kind of following the leader, as Curtis Mitchell has an incident with the wall, causes the 24-26 of William George to jump out sideways. I don't know if he got that damage from contact, but certainly close for comfort here as we get
it would be the
down
first
into
time
the
these two have been
nitty-gritty.
this close today.
Yeah, if they just add TJ Elaine, that would be what happened to Curtis beforehand.
Like
No. no shade at all. Just TJ having the unfortunate of being 3 wide and throwing himself in front of Curtis Mitchell.
Let me get the tree for all that shade. No.
And now it looks like Curtis Mitchell rebounds from that contact and able to pull a little bit of separation from the 24 now.
Yeah, and I think the 24 got that damage from hitting the wall there. Yeah, because his right front fender's crinkled in pretty good, and I don't know, toe might be out on that 24 as well.
Certainly some body work that's going to be needed to be knocked out.
Oh, the 34 is loose, and he saved it on the back straightaway.
Oof. Jacob Davis having a moment there as we get into the nitty-gritty here towards the end. I mean, we're at lap 116, working lap 116 of 150 here tonight. Jacob Manning out front and by a large margin of almost 3 seconds over Christopher Pendle. Jeff Schmeier still the most recent guy to come down pit road on the lead lap. Well, currently a lap down, but would be cycled back to the lead lap after the others make their stops as Crittenden makes the move north out of his way, staying out of the way of those other drivers of Curtis Mitchell and Jeff Schmeier. As right now, as they run, your top 5 would be Jacob Manning, Christopher Pendle, Jackson Wade, Curtis Mitchell, and William George. Mitchell now making a larger gap over William George. As Crittenden, he's going to make his final stop of the night. See Tim Ruark also making his final stop of the night. And now's when this is where you have a guy make a stop, put himself in a good position, and that's when that yellow flag will come flying out and throw everything out the window as we've seen the last few races. As right now, Jacob Manning has now stretched that out to a 3.2 second, and I mean, none of these guys have made a full move towards the pit road as they just cross about 30. Oh, big incident there for the 24 as he gets the wall again. These guys just now hitting about, what, 30s? I can't do math. Just under 40 laps on this run here.
A little under 40, and William George is saying, you know what, I've hit this fence twice. I'm gonna go ahead and pit right here.
Yeah, it's one of those you just let's come in, get all that all squared away. I guess these guys are just gonna run and hope that maybe you hope for a caution as we cross the line for 30 to go here. Maybe get this run as far deep as you can and hope that maybe someone has an issue, and then you can come down and have just a stop under yellow.
I mean, unless these boys can somehow make it on field, but I don't think they can.
That'd be pushing it. I mean, you're talking lap 84 to 150. I mean, that's like a 66 lap run.
Yeah, and these lap times, I mean, they're plateaued, like you said earlier. I mean, they're all the same. I mean, Jacob just ran a 32.70. Pendle ran a 32.77. Wade is right there at a 32.80. So, yeah, these guys are all right there within a tenth of each other. They're definitely not gaining or really losing anything.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, too, you're going to almost need a caution to get
Jacob,
back in.
You are 3 wide, brother. Not anymore. Just kidding.
They
are racing around him, that is for sure. He's almost like a moving chicane with some of these guys on the new tires.
Yeah, so I mean, his goal is just to keep himself clean and keep everything under wraps. I mean, if he can make Corey Lavallo with a moment in front of him, which is
he did.
That's almost like you have enough.
Yeah,
it's like you almost have enough space that you just let off the throttle if you're Jacob Manning and just say, "I'll give you a moment." As now you see
Here comes Georgie.
William George coming fliming through. Fliming. That's my new one. Fliming. Come fliming through. Climbing and flying at the same time. As Gary is no stranger to the wild isms that I have said.
Gonna write that down.
Fliming to go right next to music to my eyes.
Yep, right there. Music to my eyes. Perfect.
As now the lapping of Corey Lavallo puts just 4 trucks on the lead lap. The next that would be susceptible to going down a lap is Curtis Mitchell, 23 seconds behind race leader Jacob Manning. I mean, at this point, if you're anybody outside of that podium, you're gonna need a caution just to get yourself back into the fight for that podium. Is right here with Curtis Mitchell. He's racing for Souls for Jesus this week. And that beautifully colored, beautifully gold-colored car.
Leader on pit road, Jacob Manning.
Jacob Manning and Jackson Wade both coming down pit road here, and I think that's a benefit for the machine of Jackson Wade. Is he was far enough behind that once he saw Manning hit pit road, he could make that dive down. Pendle, still within that couple of seconds that makes it kind of hard to just match the leader, especially if it's not. But
I think he will probably pit though. Probably this lap or next lap. Yeah, he's on the binders.
So that'll leave just Curtis Mitchell and Chris Rude, Brenton Barker. Those guys all down lap 83 or 81. So
yeah, and I think for Pendle, it's going to benefit him because he's got that 1 lap extra, lap of tires. At least that's what I'm thinking mentally if I'm Chris.
Yeah, I mean, that's your biggest hope is that 1 lap is just enough to get you a little bit of, even just half of a tenth, just 100th, and find that little bit of speed each lap. You got 24 to go here in the race right now.
Manning just hit the start-finish line as Pendle's in 1, and we'll have to see the merge here. Ooh.
I hope those 2 tires.
I hope he doesn't get busted for that.
Yeah. I hope that is not just enough to give him that black flag. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Because that would be
no black flag yet for the 94.
Yeah, no black flag yet. So just enough under it that it keeps him from getting that. But I think his iRacing, big slide for Ricky Miles. But I feel like as us as iRacers, Jacob Manning just ran the fastest lap of the race at a 30.77. So he's going for broke here as Curtis Mitchell now makes his lap.
Well, you're at that point in the race where it's like, hey, it's time to go.
It's go for broke.
Pit stops. I packed up the pit equipment on the pit box if I'm the crew chief, and you just go out and you haul tail for the last 25 laps of this thing.
Yeah, Ray Massey making his fastest lap as well that time around 30.73, and now Manning goes 30.72.
Yeah, back-to-back best laps there, and really our entire top 3, all 3 of them best laps so far in this race.
Everybody just, you have a short run of 25 laps. You might as well try to use twice as much on each lap and go for broke.
As Larry Mack used to say back in the day, you've got what you've got at this point.
You've got what you got, and you've made your bed. You're lying in it. You just got to run flat out. As now Mitchell going to go down a lap here, sitting in that P7 spot. Pendle is currently 3.5 seconds off the back bumper of that 50 machine. And if you're that 50, you're just praying you don't see that yellow flag. I mean, at this point, you're 3.5 seconds ahead of your teammate, who is currently about to be in what looks like a dogfight of his own with Jackson Wade. The more those guys fight side by side, the further they're going to fall from you, and that's just exactly what you want to see. As actually Curtis Mitchell just went fastest time of the race with a 30.65.
Holy, yeah, he did. That's great.
So-
That's a great.
Just saw these guys start to pick up speed, and I mean, Curtis Mitchell currently just the first car a lap down. Looks like now he just unlapped himself, maybe, by looks of it.
Yeah, the
And that's
track has
a lot
slowed
of-
down a little bit since the start. It started at like 103, and it's down to 93 now. So
I mean, we were just talking about how dark it looked on the racetrack, and now it's, as my son would say, a sunny day.
here comes the sun.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. How dare you? It's one of those things, it's like a sleeper agent. You just woke me up and made me sing the song.
That's right.
This Pendle's made up about 0.4 of a second here in the last couple of laps here. 17 laps ago, 3.1 seconds behind. I mean,
I just don't know if
I'm
he's going to have
sure-
enough time to get to him.
and I'm sure that up front Jacob Manning is, managing. Manning is managing. That's a tongue twister. Managing
that's a
what
fun
he's
little
using.
there.
But he's certainly up there. He's not pushing, full out and well. I mean, you saw him go a 30.72, and now he just went a 31.19. So, I mean, if you have that kind of lead, I mean, why would you go full out and push it?
Yeah, I mean, Pendle just ran a 31.20, so, I mean, they definitely hit the max that they could get with those 30.70s, and now they're just kind of, it's falling off a little bit. And that's the thing with places like Atlanta, Rockingham, Darlington, places that are really hard on tires. Your best lap is probably going to be lap 3 or 4 on the tires, and then it's just going to start to slowly fall off after that.
Yeah, I mean, as we run right now, this is kind of where we're going to be with just 15 laps to go here in this race number 3 for the Charity Cup Series. Everything has kind of sorted itself to where it's going to be. As now, as I say that, Jacob Davis into the outside wall. Just able to drive through it and not send himself around. But certainly, I mean, if you're Manning, you're screaming, get off the wall, get away from the wall, easy with the throttle, like whatever you can think of, you're just yelling it from your simulator.
Yeah, I mean, Pendle just keeps chipping away at the lead, about a tenth-ish a lap, and a couple tenths here this past lap, but
Yeah,
if he gets there, it's going to be close, but I don't know if he can.
Yeah, it's one of those, it might be too little too late in trying to, make this run back to the front, or back to the race lead, but it's just one of those things. It's how do you top him? I mean, you're down to 2.5 seconds, so you're closing in. You're running about 0.2 of a second faster based on the last lap, 32 flat for Manning, 31.73 by Pendle.
And Pendle's having to fight with the 77 here of Brenton Barker. Brenton might be on newer tires, though, I believe. A couple laps newer tires, but
I mean, Jacob Manning going for the three-peat, winning at Chicagoland, winning at Iowa, now looking to win here from Atlanta. I mean, Pendle.
All these are drivers' tracks. Those three that you just listed off back to back to back. I mean, those are all drivers' tracks, and it does take a lot of skill to win at all three of those places.
Yeah, I mean, Pendle is certainly closing in now 1.6 seconds, 1.5, 1.4. It's dropping quick and like a rock. Manning in a little bit of
he's in a little bit of a
struggle.
situation here with George.
10 laps to go here, down to 1 second now. So suddenly the script has been flipped. I didn't know we added this page to the script.
Well, look at all of these. There's 5 trucks. Well, 3 trucks between the 94 and the 50. And the 50's got to get around the 24, 26. So, and William George is not making it easy to be passed.
No, absolutely not. But he does get around him now. And now you look at, if you're Pendle, you've got a rainbow of colors in front of you of blue, green, orange, and red. And you're just trying to find your way through it. But I don't know how it's now side by side. George and Davis were linked up with each other.
Oh my goodness. Pendle, get away from there. Get out of there.
If you're Pendle, you're screaming to get out of my way as Davis gets a little bit of George.
Contact.
No
Pendle
caution yet.
barely scrapes by.
No caution from that. I definitely thought that would have been a caution. If this was IRL, NASCAR would have threw that caution 6 laps ago.
Yeah, no kidding. They would have thrown
But
that
that's going to hurt. That's going
all
to
of Pendle's
hurt
progress that he made, because he had to lift for that, it's going to wipe the board. 34, get out of the 94's way. Come on, let him go.
Davis is fighting to keep that 94 behind, but now Pendle is clear, but now lost all that time. Went from under a second of a gap to now almost 2 seconds again.
That 34 is sending it on in there, but come on, man, not the time.
And Jacob Manning now out to lunch, and I mean, if you're Pendle, you just see that red number 50 right there in your front windshield, and just screaming that you had the chance, and it just kind of fell. I mean, and not even to your own not your own fault. It just everything in your way. And I mean, that's the name of the game with lap traffic. They're just
that's what they call racing, I guess.
But just coming to 5 laps to go this time around as we make the run down the backstretch. I mean, no short of a try there by Pendle, but just going to be, I think, just going to fall short here as we cross the line now. 5 laps to go here from Atlanta. Again, for race number 3 of 4 for the regular season of the charity chase for the Charity Cup. As we'll have one more race next 2 weeks from now on July 26th. We'll be at Kansas. Take a peek around. Crittenden and Brenton Barker side by side off of turn 4. A little loose there by the 30. As they fight for P11 here.
Yeah, they're fighting for P11. And Jacob Manning is getting ready to put these guys a second lap down. So that just shows you how spread out this race has gotten over the last 50 laps and really 100 laps. And just how fast this 50 truck has been today. He's been on a rail.
Yeah, going for the three-peat, the trifecta, with just 3 laps to go. Jacob Manning looking to go and maximize the points for his team, and Christopher Pendle looking to bring in that second place bundle of points there as well. It's now just 2.6 seconds, but again, just falling out from that from all those lap traffic and everything. Just caught the lap traffic at an odd time where they were trying to battle with amongst each other for position, and just found himself falling behind. Is now Crittenden going to go down another lap here to Jacob Manning.
And Jacob is just begging for these guys not to do anything. Don't touch me.
Absolutely.
Let me get off of turn 4 and see that white flag. Once he sees that white flag, this race is going to be official.
Absolutely, and he's going to see it right here, right now, as we go 1 lap to go here for the chase for the Charity Cup. Race number 3 is Jacob Manning on an absolute heater, going for 3 in a row down the backstretch for the final time, has his sights set on that checkered flag. Pendle going to be of no attack from the rear, as now Jacob Manning going to come off the corner Checkered flag in the air for Jacob Manning for the third time in a row.
I believe that's what they call a hat trick.
As you know, Jacob Manning isn't in victory lane tonight because of luck. It was earned. It was strategic, planned, and well executed. In iRacing, it's never just about speed. It's consistency, tire management, knowing when to push and when not to. But remember this, you're in a race too. Every single day is another lap. And just like racing, it takes discipline, experience, and strategy to move forward. That's where Vibrance Media comes in. They've built tools designed to help you grow, improve, and thrive in your own journey, your own race. And if you want to learn more, visit vibrance.community or connect with Phil Ransom. As Jacob Manning comes down to the start-finish line and going to burn it down here for the third time in a row. I think at this point they're going to start putting a handicap on him to maybe put him a lap down at the start. See what he can do with it, as he just does perfect donuts right there on that front
Speaking
stretch.
of precision and execution, look at the donuts right here on the 50.
Absolutely. I mean, that's skill. I don't know. I've never had to do donuts. It's not because I don't, want to win or anything.
Well, I just won at Chicagoland last week in Be Open. I tell you, that was a fun time, and I hadn't done donuts since I won the Daytona 500 back in February.
Well, speaking of donuts, we're going to have a conversation with the donut maker and Jacob Manning. Jacob Manning, you got a copy?
Hey guys, I got a copy. How's it going?
Going good, but I'm certainly going a lot better for you in that 50 machine there, doing absolutely perfect donuts, might I add.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you.
But, I mean, man, you go for a heck of a run here again. Third win. I mean, you're on an absolute heater here, man.
Yeah, these guys aren't making it easy on me, and guys like Christopher Pendle who are up there holding me honest. Jackson Wade, 2 weeks in a row, he come in here and just hold me honest to it. I don't have a chance to really let up, so it's good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys have been a ton of fun to watch, and like I said, those two certainly putting you to the test there and making you be honest and really running good with you. What does having such strong competitors? I mean, how's that make you a better racer, or how make you run better, run harder? All of those things. I mean, what's that do for you?
Well, it's really just accountability. I don't have a chance to let up or really make a mistake, because if I do, I'm going to feel it. And, I did there at the end trying to help out George, and, I felt it. Chris reeled me in by about a second and a half when I, started trying to help him out there. And so I was like, well, I guess I got to go by it because I can't hold this too much longer. So that's what it does.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, it takes a group to get things done, and it takes a family to do it all, and certainly there's some people that you want to shout out and thank for tonight's performance.
Yeah, guys, I want to thank you guys up in the booth for putting on this show for us. I really appreciate what you guys do, as well as Curtis Mitchell throwing on the Charity Cup Series. It's just a great thing he's doing here. It's wonderful to be a part of something that's bigger than you, and I love participating. I love trying to get guys in here and just so we can race, but raise money for those who might not be able to do so for themselves. And I think that's just such a good cause, and it's just really amazing, how he puts God first when it comes to this simulator. It's very easy to put yourself first and take all the glory, but in the end, really all glory is to God here, and that's something I love, a ton about what he's doing here. I want to thank my family for watching at home and supporting me. It's just, it helps me keep going. It helps me want to keep going. And, I love having you guys watch me, when I'm successful or when I'm not. It's still pretty cool. And then, the two last guys I want to, shout out is Great Lakes Sim. What TJ Lane has built here is just something incredible, and being a part of this team is awesome. And finally, I want to shout out Tier 1 Setup Shop for supplying me with fast setups all the time, getting me a good gig, learning how to do setups from pros, and getting me connected in a good group of guys to keep going fast whenever I'm not being broadcasted. So thanks to all those people for making this possible.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for your time, and look forward to see if you can go back, go on a four-peat here in a couple of weeks at Kansas, brother.
We'll see you guys. Thank you.
Race winner in Jacob Manning. And next, we're going to move on down to our P2 finisher in Christopher Pendle. Gary, I believe you have Chris now.
Yeah, caught up with him down here in pit road. Chris, I thought you were going to be able to reel him in there for a second there toward the end of that race, but it just seemed like lap trucks got in the way. Talk about your race and talk about the finish here tonight. You put on a really good show here this evening.
Yeah, I was just trying to save early in the runs. Lift early, get back out of throttle a little bit later. Everybody tried to run the bottom. On the bottom for me, though, on the long runs, I couldn't run it down there. It was just too slick, too loose. But, yeah, there at the end, lap traffic, he was starting to hold him up a little bit, and I was catching him. And then when I got to it started holding me up. And then there was a car that dive bombed somebody in front of me, 3 wide, a lap car, and got up into somebody else and started getting them loose. So I had to lift. So all that time that I started catching Jacob, I had to lift, and I lost all that momentum. But congrats to Jacob. He's a teammate. He deserved it. He was also better at getting on and off pit road than me, and I was just trying to be patient getting on because I know how slick it is. That's kind of what happened to me last week. I wasn't very patient, and my steering wheel, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, my steering wheel fell off, and I was kind of fighting that plus trying to get on pit road. So yeah, I'll take second, man. That was a good run. I was hoping there. I was going to get to him, but it is what it is. 1, 2, 3 for Great Lakes. It's a great night.
And Jacob did definitely put B to B tonight as far as the pit road entry and exit. He was definitely the best truck tonight as far as the pits go. But any final thoughts or shout outs or things you want to give? We head to Kansas next week. How do you feel about that place?
I haven't really raced Kansas much. I know Kansas is the top groove track. That's where the speed's at. We'll see what happens. I'll try to practice, get some laps in, and see how I do. Just keep moving forward is all I can do. And thanks to TJ over at Great Lakes, and thanks to everybody on the team that makes everything happen. We're all putting work in and getting faster every week and trying to catch up with Jacob. It's getting hard, but and then obviously our charity this week's Wounded Warrior Project, so all of our proceeds will go to that. So congrats to everybody. It was a good race tonight, good clean race, and I'll take second after last race, and hopefully we'll get a spot better next time.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks a lot for your time, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
At your P2 finisher in Christopher Pendle, and like he said, rebounds from last week, gets himself kind of righted, and we pull up our third place finisher in Jackson Wade. Jackson, you got a copy?
I'm here.
Hey, strong run for you. You had some moments where you were right there with Jacob and Christopher and fighting for that top spot. You guys flip-flopped a few times, and it seemed like for 1 minute, Jacob and Chris were fighting, then you and Jacob were fighting, and then you and Chris were fighting. I mean, all three of you finished in the spots that you deserved as far as the top three. I mean, tell me about the fun that it was to race with those guys and see who could be the better truck.
Yeah, it was a really good, difficult race. I'm really happy that it went green for so long because it was able to show really what each truck was capable of. Yeah, matter of racing those guys, I mean, it was something that I will always enjoy. Just loving racing around guys that are quick, that I can follow to improve my own skill set. Going back and forth was really fun. There was a couple times where I thought I was faster, and turns out he's just saving a little bit, and so that trade-off back and forth is just what provides that great racing there. So just a matter of knowing when to push and when to save, and just try to get yourself on the best track position advantage.
Yeah, we kind of thought, early in this race, we were expecting a lot of these trucks to maybe tighten up a little bit, maybe wear out that right front, kind of tighten up, plow a little bit. But I mean, from our vantage point, it seemed to be the absolute opposite. I mean, it seemed like the later into these runs you guys went, it almost looked like that, rear end just wanted to, throw itself around on a corner exit, especially off of turn 2. It seemed like turn 2 was kind of a menace throughout the night.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Um, it really depended on what you did for the first 15 laps. If you burned up the right front, you were going to plow, and it was evident on especially my last run. But then if you ran it right towards the end of the run, you could run it longer neutral. But if you ran it the way you needed to, it would eventually snap loose towards the very end of that run there. So it was difficult track conditions because it was just so dependent on what you did with the truck. You know, however many laps before. But yeah, it was a really great event to just really show what these trucks can race like. I mean, I think we all know that this is some of the best racing right now is in these trucks.
Absolutely. I mean, trucks are always a staple in fun racing. They run good just about every single track. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody run at Kansas. And before we set you off and head towards that, uh, anybody that you want to shout out and thank for tonight, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a long list of names. I can't get all of them, so I'll just group them together here. First of all, Great Lakes Sim, just a fantastic organization. As you can tell, we've got our heads right, and we just know where we want to finish, and that's what we're going to work hard to do. So, shout out to them there. Samantha and Kyle Bush Bundle of Joy Fund is my personal charity, so just always gonna be appreciative of what the work that they do there. Um, Wounded Warrior charity is where our team winnings are going to this week. So I mean that's just the name of itself. It's one of the most popular charities. It's just a fantastic thing to have. So just shout out everybody there, family, friends, the wife, everybody who lets me sit down here and do what I love. It's just a great thing to be able to be blessed to do that. And again, thank you guys for the broadcast. I enjoy going back and watching it on Mondays.
Absolutely. Well, once again, thank you for your time, brother, and look forward to maybe having a conversation in a couple of weeks at Kansas.
Thank you, appreciate it. Look forward to see you again.
And that our P3 finisher in Jackson Wade, and now our P4, I believe. Gary, you have Jeff now.
Yeah, Jeff, this is Gary down here in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, hey, P4, you started ninth. You gained 5 spots. Great race for you this evening, and you managed to be one of the few that kept on the lead lap all night. So talk about your race, talk about your drive tonight.
Oh, it was a crazy race for me because I just had, uh, I, managed. I knew we were gonna have a lot of trouble with tires, so I managed to keep my first set of tires on until I don't know. It was maybe my first one was lap 60. I got tires, so time on the undercut, and man, I was really hoping for another caution too because I had another set of tires in the pits, so it would have been a fun time if we had another caution near the end.
Well, it was definitely looking close there for a minute for about Kansas.
Oh, I love Kansas. Kansas is one of my favorite tracks. I just love riding the wall up there. Wall riding is really fun to do in these trucks, so I'm really hoping for that one.
Absolutely. Well, any final thank yous or shout outs you want to give tonight before we let you go celebrate that P4?
Yeah, of course, I got to thank my mom and my dad. They always watch. Hey from London, and my sister and my beautiful wife and my wife's in-laws. They always love to watch these races. And I got to thank Bill from End Alzheimer's Motorsports. Hope you're up in Charlotte this coming weekend. We're going to be up there racing go-karts, so hope to see you up there.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go celebrate your top 5 finish here this evening, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks at Kansas.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, and last and not least, I got to go search for him real quick. Our 5th place finisher in Curtis Mitchell. We'll get him up here in the booth, as my fingers don't like to work as necessary. As now in the booth, Curtis Mitchell, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, brother. First, want to talk about that P5 there. I mean, you were a strong truck. We saw a lot of guys that had a lot of strong trucks to start runs. But only a handful were able to keep it going on the long run, and certainly you were one of those guys as well, finishing here in the top 5.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, we had a strategy lined up at the beginning for our team, and as you can tell, it didn't work. We were going to try and get some good track position, and I mean, we got hit all over the place. I had irreparable damage. Is that a word? Irreparable? Not repairable?
Irreparable?
There you go.
Is that it?
There you go.
Yeah, whatever.
That'll work. And so we were fighting the damaged car the whole time. I was saving tires in the back with my guys, hoping for a caution, which put us probably 15 seconds back from the leaders. And like I said, we had no chance of that went green the whole way. So glad we were able to hold on to a top 5. Took tires late just in case we had a caution, and then ended up getting by George and Adam at the end. But yeah, man, really crazy race. The fact that we only had 5 guys finishing the lead lap, and yeah, it was a wild one.
Yeah, I mean, with just how that started there, I mean, you have the 33s suddenly become part of your front nose there at the early on in that race, and I mean, how does that maybe affect you a little bit throughout the race? Just having an incident like that, and having to maybe burn that fast repair early, or just kind of have a rough start like that. I mean, what's that do for you, mentally?
It's exhausting and it's quite discouraging. So when you're running the back and wherever we were, I think at one point I was with my buddies back in 15th, and I'm just like, oh, this is just not fun, because I knew the potential we had. Right, we had a terrible qualifying, and then I got to the front, we had the wreck, and then I got wrecked again. Had to use a fast repair. So at that point, I just had to save, and it's tough. It's harder almost mentally than running up front with the guys, because at that point you're letting them set the pace. Whereas with my situation, I had to abandon my whole team just to try and get up there, because I knew we were on a little bit of a different strategy towards the end, and so I just had to go. And you're so far back, and you can't win it if it goes green. So it's tough. Just trying to conserve a top 5, get a donation for Souls for Jesus, and just try and have fun doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from up here in the booth, it was an absolutely phenomenal race to watch from up here. I mean, you had guys that, I mean, at one point you went from 14th all the way up to 3rd in like 3 laps, and I was watching the timing, and I started noticing there were several trucks that were able to just move through the field and climb through the ladder and just find their way to the front, time and time again. It was a fun race to watch, and I can only imagine how much fun it was on the track.
Oh yeah, no, it was fun to see the guys battling out. You got all my guys in Discord. We're talking about what's going on, because we were all over the track, and I called it before. I said GLS was going to put up a 1, 2, 3, and would you look at that? So, but yeah. So what's funny is Jackson putting up a P3. He also got both of our driver awards, so they're going to be getting a lot of money to the Wounded Warrior Project. So obviously Jacob Manning finishing first, that put $60 towards Wounded Warrior. Chris Pendel's second place put up another 40. Jackson's third put up 37, as well as $50, $125 for the Lisbon Creek Ladder Climber, and then another 25 for that Langer's Auto Spa cleanest race. No, he only had 1 incident point in that 150 lap event. Schmeier, fourth place, $33, headed over to Endelsheimer's Motorsports, and then my 30 going to be headed to Souls for Jesus. So all of that together, we're looking at $250 headed to charity after this one. And yeah, good points day for GLS. They went to the top, sitting at 364 points, full blast back at 288. So it's going to take a lot to try and get up back to them by Homestead. But yeah, fun event. A lot of green flag laps, and thankful for all the guys that came out to race.
Absolutely, and I mean, we're very thankful that you've taken this on and created this league and race for the causes that we do. It's a ton of fun. It's just a pleasure to be a part of. So I look forward to Kansas and further as we get deeper into this chase for the Charity Cup and see who can claim that first cup.
Absolutely, all glory to God. Been fun to have you guys a part of it.
Absolutely. Want to thank you again for your time there, brother, and hopefully we'll catch you here next week.
We'll see you at Kansas.
And that's going to just about do it here for us as we get ready to run down this final results here from Old Atlanta. As ton of fun here tonight. Jacob Manning going to be getting that race win with teammates Christopher Pendle and Jackson Wade rounding out that podium. Jeff Schmeier getting up into that P4 spot with Curtis Mitchell battling all the way back to that P5 spot. Good finish here for Adam Thompson, finishing in P6 with Corey Lavallo finishing in P7. William George going to finish in 8th with Ray Massey in 9th. Chris Root does rebound a little bit from his incidences and finishes in P10 with Brenton Barker finishing 11th. Last car, nope, it's not updated. My apologies. Last car on the lead lap was in 6th place or 5th place. Justin Crittenden going to finish in 12th with Jacob D. Davis in 13th. TJ Elaine in 14th with Tim Ruark in 15th. Patrick Craven going to come 16th with Brian Bogner in 17th. Ricky Miles going to finish in 18th with Dave Shutt going to be finishing in 19th. And rounding out our 20 truck field for the night, going to be Dylan Chavis finishing at the end of the field. I mean, this was a phenomenal race, ton of fun to watch, a lot of action. There was no shortage of action in this this race whatsoever there, Gary, and it was just an all-around fun one.
Yeah, it definitely was an all-around fun one. Really action-packed here tonight, and wouldn't expect anything less from these Charity Cup Series guys. They know how to put on a good show, and Atlanta did not disappoint.
Yeah, no, I mean, this Atlanta race certainly makes me miss the Atlanta race being what it was instead of being ECHOPARK. But, now we turn and set our sights on Kansas in 2 weeks as these guys go and handle the final race of the regular season here for the Chase for the Charity Cup before we start that 3-race playoff. But with all of that being said, I want to thank everybody that tuned in and followed along here tonight. Look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks for the race number 4. And with all that said, as you walk the streets of life, please don't play in traffic.